Welcome to day 518 of our Web3 journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian, and we have a special guest for you today. His name is William Laurent, and you know him on DSO as William Laurent. How's it going, William?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yeah, we came on to DSO the same day
We
in
did. That's right.
March 26th, I think, of last year. I'm doing great. I'm here in sunny Florida today, outside, and just starting my day with a bunch of coffee.
That's
Coffee
a
by
pretty
the
good
palm trees
start.
and pool.
Yeah, I got it pretty good, at least today.
Yes, so for those who don't know, William Laurent's been on DSO since the beginning. He's an OG. We're gonna talk to him a little bit before we get on the news. And when we're done talking to him, he has to check out because he has a publishing deadline that he needs to meet. We don't want to miss those. So we'll just continue with the news once we say goodbye to him. But remember these videos being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DSOFi.
Yes, so William, as you can tell from your background, you're from Florida. You're in the Miami South Beach area. Me and Ed are in the Fort Myers area, across the coast, about 2.5 hours away, probably maybe three. But Florida is becoming like the crypto hub of maybe the world. It's like the crypto state.
Yeah,
Like why is that happening?
it's going to come down between Florida and Dubai. Dubai will probably win out, but Florida will be, at least in the U.S., be number one. I mean, for all the reasons that it's cheaper to live down here. It's a little bit, I would say, more free than life is in the Northeast. There are tax advantages. It's just, when I came down here, and we're all transplants from the Northeast, right? I grew up in cold weather like you guys did in Jersey. It comes down here and you're just like, why am I ever going back north? Like, there's,
Good
I
point.
mean, it's like this now in August, but it's going to be like this in January too.
Exactly.
It's
Except
just,
maybe a little bit less humid, right?
yeah, a little bit less humid, but it's, I'm enjoying Miami. We will, as you know, Tokyo Girl, my wife just moved here recently from Japan, and we'll probably wind up on the other coast. I'm thinking Dunedin. We're going to head there in the next couple of days. We're going to start looking around. So it's looking like 10 months more in Miami, and then we'll head over to Tampa St. Pete area. Not sure yet, but just a little bit. It's a little bit more our style. Miami's
Laid
very
back, more laid back.
it's more laid back. If I was younger and single, maybe Miami, but it's just very it's not it's not my type of place so much, especially coming from New York Metro, Philadelphia Metro, those areas where I just feel there's a little bit more. This sounds so snobbish, like cultural integrity in the lifestyle on the other side of Florida.
Oh yeah, yeah, I agree. I can relate to that, I think. So we of course met you on DSO probably like 518 days ago, since it's our 518th day.
Right.
You're doing a lot on other chains as well, and you're doing a lot on Definity, which is like the internet computer.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you're doing over there, what Definity is, and how it can benefit our community on DSO as well as the Web3 community in general?
Yeah, I'll try and give you a quick summary without being too circular. So Definity is the parent organization of the Internet Computer. It's sort of like the governance organization, right? Not a DAO, but like the governance. So Internet Computer is a blockchain that leverages the World Wide Web. What makes it unique is that, as you know, 98% of blockchains run on Amazon AWS, right? Or they run on Google. Not the case with Internet Computer. It's truly decentralized. So in order to be a node provider and basically to provide processing power cycles, you have to go through a rigorous vetting process, staking process. So the processing power is truly provided in a distributed way and governed, and it's not just all in the hands of Google, Google or Amazon. They could still shut you down at the end of the day. So that's one thing I'm really excited about it. The second thing is there's something that's called the internet identity. So the CEO, Don Williams, is a brilliant cryptographer. He assembled a team in Palo Alto, developed this. He's moved the headquarters to Zurich. They have I think the most ex-Google engineers in Europe now working for Definity. And part of the cryptography with this internet identity is just, it's a much better way to create a digital signature. When I sign into the internet computer, I do it biometrically now, right? And if you're familiar with the edge computing model, they've pushed a lot of this cryptography, a lot of this authorization to verify the user to the actual device, right? So, and this is way over my head, but they're actually using the chip in, say, the iPhone or the iMac as part of the verification process. So in some ways, you're a little bit more tightly coupled to your device, but that's mostly has advantages over disadvantages. So those are the two things. But I mean, it's very similar to DSO in that Internet Computer has canisters, Nader has smart services. And the way the data is can be persisted on chain is that, again, very similar to DSO, is that for $5 you can store gigs and gigs and gigs and gigs. If you did that on Solana or Ethereum, it would cost millions of dollars. And what was interesting is when I was in at the meetup, right, with you guys in Los Angeles, I did get to talk to Nader a little bit about what I was doing or going to be doing, and Nader said, "Oh yeah, Dominic Williams, I know Dom," and I didn't get any more flavor on that. So I wonder how well they know what each other's doing and how much they're on each other's radar. But
Nader, you can update us on that and how,
yeah,
let us
yeah,
know in the comments below this
yeah,
video.
yeah. I mean, maybe there's this like secret society of like blockchain founders where they all know each other, you know, like Skull and
I
Bones.
want to join.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really bullish on the technology. How I came into this is that when I was writing with Blockster and running the news desk at Blockster, I don't know how, but Don Williams, the CEO of Definity, found my stuff. I got on his radar, and the rest is history. Dom had told his team, "Hey, I really like the way Will writes." And after things have finished up with Blockster, I reached out to Definity, and they're like, "Yeah, you're coming aboard." So we'll see. I have 3 months to build this thing out, and we'll see how it goes. And then after that, I'm hopeful that we do another 3 months. But it just depends. Like it's just there's a lot of different things to do right now, and we all have a vision, and you want to make sure that people that you're working with have a similar, not only have a similar vision, but can support your vision, and you can support each other's vision in a symbiotic way that benefits everybody. But I'm just looking, it's looking that I will continue because there's so much. I mean, we're in phase zero. If you look at fast blocks, it's very raw. We're just getting started. Last but not least, why am I so bullish about the actual fast blocks? And we'll talk about the DSO angle, but we will reach, I would say in phase 2, we'll reach a point where writers can actually fractionalize their writing as NFTs, right? They can make NFTs for their writing. There'll also be a way, in the similar way that DSO has diamonds, we have hand claps, right? So people will be able to earn an ICP. Right now, I've assembled a team of writers. Some of those writers are people that you know, Kit Campoy, who I met on DSO, Darisha, I met on DSO, and Rand here, of course, who just did a great article and is covering a lot of what's going on in India. Coconut's gonna fall in my head.
Watch out.
That'll be kind of cool to see, but I don't want to
that'd be so entertaining. A lot like streaming. So we have writers. I'm doing just a lot of editing to package everything, make sure it looks good. Eventually, because it's on the Nuance platform, which runs on Internet Computer, eventually we will open this up to the public. I'm not sure what that will look like. Maybe we'll have like a premium type of content stream where it will be just the verified writers, and then we'll have another place where anybody can post. But what's really historic about this, Ed and Brian, is the fact that this is fully on chain. Coin, Telegraph, Decrypt, Crypto Potato, and there are literally hundreds of crypto news sites right now. None of them is truly fully on chain. And we're on chain. We have the buy-in of the CEO. This is a direct, this is a pet project for him. Web3 news fully on chain. You can create NFTs from it, and no one's going to shut us down. We can be edgy. I'm telling the writers that we don't want to be too edgy right now, because once you go so edgy, you can't walk back.
Right.
But we can be a little bit edgy, and we'll see where it goes, because we want them to have an individual voice. So I'm just super excited, and we have, like I said, we have writers that are great members of the DSO community, and we have people now in ICP that are going to sign up for DSO. So,
It's
um,
awesome.
we have to look at one of the things that we talk about is this concept of blockchain singularity, and that one day this is all going to be one, right? It's all going to, we're not going to be talking about metaverses. We're going to be talking about multiverses. So, I think that yeah, any synergies in this space are great. I don't look at anything as a competing chain or anything like that. The best technology is going to survive, and I'm pretty darn sure that at the end of the day that you're going to see Nader Al Naji in there, and you're going to see Dominic Williams and ICP in there as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's a trend that we're seeing is a lot of DSO people are working together on projects on other chains as well. So I
Yeah.
think DSO is like this gathering meeting place because it is social. It is really the only social blockchain out there. And you're meeting all these other people that have similar like life ideas and similar philosophies about where technology is headed. And that's a great fit if you're starting a new business or you're starting a new project somewhere else. So I think that's definitely a trend we're going to continue to see.
That's the amazing thing. So if you think about, I would say that the lineage of DSO from a social media or from a community uh, development, like how we developed, is that we were all, geez, we came in, boom, we were so excited about this, the floodgates open. A lot of those people have dropped off, but there's this core daily active users, or there's a core community, and even if they're not on DSO so much, we're on Telegram, we're on Discord. So we've already built this amazing community that is never going to disappear. If anything, it grows, and it grows in this interesting organic way. So if you have somebody like, say, Mr. Triplet, that came into this thing not that long ago, and he was like, holy shit, everyone is so cool, this is such a great community. And when we'll have these new people come in and understand this thing that we've already built that's never going away, and we will continue to grow. It's really amazing. I mean, I'm not putting it in the right words, but you know what I'm trying to say is that we're going to continue to grow organically. This I don't know what you would call it. It's almost cultish, but as you know, the most successful businesses are cult like. So it's okay.
Right.
That's
I'm
true.
fine to be brainwashed.
It's a good cult. It's a good cult, right?
It's a good call. And there's no walls to keep us in, right? There might be
Right.
walls to keep others out, but we'll stay in without the
Exactly.
walls.
Yeah, so like talking about DSO, you had a pretty cool NFT series on DSO, the Desolators or
Yeah.
Desolators, and like I just love the art. And Ed was wearing one of the shirts yesterday. It was you had one of your NFTs on the back of it. But can you tell us quickly about what you did with the Desolators?
Yeah, so I looked at what was going on in with digital art in general. I'm not a digital artist, I'm a canvas artist, and this is a couple of years ago. I just started experimenting with things. I found some things that worked, and uh, started to assemble, I would say, a style that no artist is working. And if you look at my stuff, it's very unmistakably mine. It's photo based. I talked to Michelle Lord, and I are like the closest friends. We talk to each other a lot about, like, we're sort of doing different techniques, but we're sort of doing the same thing where it's photo based, and then we'll go and we'll do digital treatment or digital assembly on it. So I'm really excited about um, or the medium that we're working in, what we're doing. And my photographs, I don't use Photoshop. Sometimes I use something called GIMP, but I've moved a lot of the grunt work to the pre-production process. So I'll go out, I'll take pictures. I started taking pictures of the children's playground up in the mountains of Japan when the sun was a certain angle, the clouds were a certain angle, to get the shades of the shapes, to get what I wanted, and then be able to assemble the art rather than do it all digitally, because I don't have the time to learn all that stuff. you know
Yeah,
kudos to people that are good at that. That's just not my thing, right? So it is a very intense pre-production process. Once I have that down, the rest flows. So yeah, I had been doing that for a while on, and then I started putting it on decent. I can't remember. I think this was after my my first NFT project on DSO, which was a complete failure, which was the OGs, which
We've
was the
had some of
OGs,
those too.
which was the OG project, which I know you guys were invested, and I always felt bad about that because
Where's
you
the
lost like a
refund?
hundred,
We want a
you lost like
refund.
$100. I did when I cashed out. I did. I think you and Clay Oglesby. I sent you
Oh.
what was left, and then
That's
I
how much
sent you.
attention we pay, right?
And then I sent you a full Slater coin. I think I
I
might have
think you
just
did.
cheaped
I
out
think
and
you
sent
did.
half, but I did send that to sort of make up. But I never told the story of that is that I had an artist in Italy working on those pieces, and it was very collaborative. I would take the old ukiyo-e screen, that you see if you look at Hiroshige or Basho or some of those old Japanese screen prints, the one with the wave or the samurais. So I was taking those and sort of curating those, working with the developer in Italy for them to come up with the designs. And um, they were not supposed to tell anybody that they were doing this, or at least show their work. And that happened, and it was brought to my attention by someone that's not on the platform anymore. His name is Big Red. He comes on every 6 months. Um, and brought to me, and I said, "Oh shit, I got to kill this project because it was that would have been a disaster." And that was at the time where people were rugging. There was all kinds of NFT scandals. There was intellectual property theft at a grand level, and I didn't want the hassle. So that's the backstory there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thanks for filling us in
I
on
still
that.
have the name OGs, so if the site takes off, maybe MP3 can get me some money for it.
Might be golden. It might be like $1 million username.
I
Uh,
still
so,
I
so
sorry, I still think I have the best name on chain. One of my alts is Dixie Normus, not Dixie like Dixieland, Dixie
that's
Normus.
great.
And I got the idea from Tommy Lee because he used to check into hotel rooms with that name. So I said, oh damn, I gotta grab that name because if Tommy Lee ever does come back on, maybe he'll want that name. Who knows?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. That's
Well,
funny.
Dylan's here.
Uh,
Maybe he can, get his dad on
right,
here.
right. I know.
so finally, before we let you go and meet your publishing deadline, you're working on a Web3 book. Is that right?
I am. I'm working on a Web3 book, and there's some another DSO angle with a gentleman called Michael Neal, who I think has his network and your network overlap. I think you know each other by one, uh, not directly, but 1 degree. He's not on DSO that much. Someone I grew up with got him on DSO. He's a great editor. He's a great connector of people. He's starting his Web3 journey, and when he came to me and said, you know what, we should do a book. We'll put in his photography, my art, and just have a lot of articles about Web3. Some of those articles I'll repurpose from Blockster. Some I'll repurpose from Definity because I own the content and I structure my contracts that way. And we'll probably do maybe 30 pieces in this book. I think we'll include your interview in there also, and it will just be sort of like a wacky world, the wacky year in Web3. It'll be an ebook. We need that we'll get together and look. It'll get us on stages. I mean, it will. We're all trying to build our influence in this space, and it is a slow grind. But this is just one more of the puzzle piece that needs to be put into place. I did write a book 15 years ago and sold it in like 20 countries. And that sounds impressive, but it was like 2 in Australia, 3 in Switzerland. And by the time I paid my editor and everything else, it was a loss.
Yeah, it's costly to publish a book. It's not easy to make a profit publishing a book. That's what I
Not to
found. So
discourage any writers out there, but
yeah.
and then I had discovered, I went back through the book and I was like, I found two errors, typos that the editor hadn't caught, 2 or 3. And I read some of my writing and I'm like, this sucks. I became a much better writer in the last 10 years and I just pulled it off the market and like, just kept a couple of copies hidden away somewhere. It's
But we're all
embarrassing.
improving. We're all improving every day. So
Yeah, we are in all ways. I mean, in all ways. Yeah, I remember when I did my first painting when I was in high school. My mom's an artist and she's got her master's in art, well trained, brilliant, absolutely. And she looked at my painting and I don't remember what she said, but it was in the nicest way possible. It was sort of like, just don't even try this again. So, and now my mom's got some of my stuff hanging, in the house, my mom and dad. So that has come full circle in the validation loop there.
It's like non-constructive, constructive criticism, right? It's coming from your mom, so you're taking it kind of constructively, I guess.
Yeah, I wish. Sorry about all the helicopters going by here. I guess it's 9 o'clock, so the tourists on Friday, the tourists start going up in the helicopters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so
So
I was just gonna say, if you have anything to say before you go, let us know. Otherwise, I just want to say, like, I think you're an awesome person. I think you're an asset to DSO. Your writing is amazing. So if I can't see what you're working on not working out.
yeah, thank you. The fire now the fire alarm's going off. Thank you. I mean, just in closing, I will say that it's I mean this in all sincerity. It's been really fun watching the journey that you have taken on DSO, and sort of like, at least my perception is that coming in is like, oh, the Krasenstein brothers are here, and then these guys are just going to be front runners and they're going to amplify everything Whale Shark Pro does, and they're not here for the community. And then sort of seeing how things evolved and how your mentorship of people, and how that you've gone in to, just when someone is new, hey, hello, and it's been really nice to see that. And honestly, I don't know where this platform would be right now if we didn't have you, two
Appreciate it.
fanboys
Thank you.
out there.
Well,
Yeah,
it
I
sounds
Anyway,
like
hope
your
that I
car
hope that's
might be
not a
getting
reader.
broken. Your car
Yeah.
might be getting broken into, so we'll let you go.
no,
Hear an
the
alarm
fire.
in the
That's the
background.
fire. The fire engines are going to pull up here any second because of Miami. If the alarm goes off, they have to. So it's going to get nuts here. So I'm going to bail. Thank you.
Does everybody just jump in the pool when there's a fire?
Well, like these big apartment buildings, because you live in New York City, right? Or like, is that these fire alarms go off all the time, and 99.9% of the time it's nothing, right?
Yeah,
But
nobody
like the
Right,
pays
fire
attention to
exactly.
them.
department, the NYFD, would that always have to come, in response? Same thing here. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
thanks
So
again,
we'll get on to
William.
the news and we'll say goodbye to
Good
William.
times. Yep. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks again.
Yeah, so moving on to the news. It was great having William on the show. He's always a great person to talk to. But yesterday, Nader was on Mario Nawfal's Twitter Spaces. And the Twitter Space that Mario has every week, uh, they go on for quite some time, sometimes up to 6 or 7 hours. Yesterday's went on for about 3 hours or so, and Nader was there. It wasn't specifically about DSO, but Mario did bring up DSO, and Nader had plenty of chance to talk about DSO and Dao Dao. Mario asked some tough questions, though, Brian. He really did. And I think Nader really did an awesome job of masterfully answering those questions. And I think people walked away with, okay, this guy's legit. And I think it was overall a great Twitter Spaces. The conversation was a lot about the current market conditions, both of stocks and just markets in general, as well as crypto markets. And then they highlighted DeFi and talked about DeFi. And Nader actually did a lot of discussion focused on DeFi as well. But there's some great things that came out of it. One thing that I thought was interesting was that Nader was asked about DeSo being decentralized. Because in the early days, especially, and still today, there's a lot of talk about DeSo not really being decentralized. But he actually brought up some really interesting facts that kind of make me think that, okay, this thing is actually decentralized. And he said that DeSo doesn't actually mine DeSo. Nobody from the core team mines DeSo. It's people all over the world who are mining it, and they actually don't know who these miners are. He said a lot of them tend to be in Canada for some reason. I don't know why that would be, and neither did he. And he said that Coinbase, before they would list DeSo, did a super in-depth analysis to make sure that the blockchain and the coin were actually decentralized, and they passed.
Yeah, I was listening. I listened to Nader speak. He had probably like 35, 45 minutes where he did it back and forth to Mario. Like you said, there were some tough questions, but Nader did an excellent job at not getting angry at tough questions, but answering those tough questions and being sincere about it. So I think it came off really well for him.
Yeah. And Natter's doing another town hall soon. Some McMarsh asked him on DSO when the next town hall is, and he said that it's quote soon. So I'm looking forward to that. I think the community would love to get the chance to talk to Nader. It's been a while.
Yeah, so moving on, a new node has been created by a 13-year-old crypto enthusiast and programmer, and it's called Eva Social. You can see the account at Eva Social, but it's actually really good. They just announced that they have an app that can be installed, and it also works really well on the web. I was playing around with it earlier today. It runs really fast. It's really lean, but definitely check it out. The website is eva-phi.vercel.app. And the link will be below this video on YouTube.
So the social world, they have a new feature that they just added. It's a really cool feature. Now when you go to somebody's profile in the social world, it's going to tell you exactly how many days they have been a member of DSO for. So you can kind of pinpoint the OGs and be like, oh wow, that person's been here for a year, over a year. That person's been here for over 400 days. Brian and Ed, they have been here for 518 days. So
it's actually, it says 520 actually, because our videos are actually 2 days behind. We screwed up in the beginning.
Yeah, but you get the point. You get to see when everybody signed up. Really cool feature. I love it.
Also, Gem Story, what are they doing?
So they now support YouTube and DSO native videos in the profile galleries. So you can now view and watch videos, whether it's posted on YouTube or DSO, along with seeing the photos posted by that user on their profile gallery. So definitely check out Gem Story if you haven't already. Brutal's doing an amazing job. Continuing to iterate among the app, and it's becoming one of the better apps on the DSO blockchain.
Yeah, and I love the idea that videos are now in that feed. You can quickly see the videos, jump to them. Great idea, Brutal. So jumping to NFTs, the top bidders on DSO NFTs over the last 24 hours, according to NFTZ, are as follows: Chermislav Digdong, Garbo, Pro Crusties, Gilo, La Big Mac, Meta Philosopher, Gawergi, the BitClout Dog, Clay Oglesby, and Ali B. And the top Diamond Day creators on the DSO blockchain over the last 24 hours, according to our friends at Altumbase, are Michelle Lord, who we spoke about with William just a bit earlier, Miami Japan, JD Armstrong, Food Curator, Krasenstein Us, McMarsh, who had that exchange with Nader where he asked about having a town hall, NFT Pets, Sean Slater, M. Her, and Rihan Ree.
Congratulations. And today's events, thanks to Miss Katie Ann once again for providing us with this list. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time is introducing Web3, your social media owned by you. Now this is on Luma with Misha Da Vinci and Nader. So she's going to be interviewing Nader. I think over 1,500 people have already signed up for this. You have to sign up. It's going to be taking place on Zoom. Go to the profile of Miss Katie Ann and you can get a link there. Definitely sign up. Definitely attend. I think it's going to be a really good talk with Nader again, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. At 12 p.m. Eastern Time, DAO is hosting a Twitter Spaces event with John Jardin and Web Simplified. It's building on DAO is the title of the room. And again, that's 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitter Spaces. And at 5 p.m., Blockchain Underground with Ari on Entra. So check that out, joinentra.com. And that's all the news we have for today. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.